Hi. Hello. What's up? It's Ariel here with another ASMR video. And today we are having a party. Because today we are doing some eating sounds for the first time. And we are eating some sweets, some traditional Brazilian sweets. They are called brigadeiro, but each individual flavor has its own name. But I will explain as we go along. In America, some people know this and call this fudge or truffles. Chocolate truffle is specifically this one, which is the traditional brigadeiro. But they are not exactly truffles, and they are not exactly fudge. This recipe is very versatile and practical. Maybe that's the reason why it became such a traditional sweet to be served at kids' parties, especially kids' birthday parties. They are very sweet, but some people adapt the recipes to make them more gourmet. Some people adapt the recipes to make them more palatable for adults, less sweet, less childlike. But this I made myself, and they are the traditional, easy recipes for kids' parties. As I go to each one, I will tell you guys the names, the translations, the recipe, the traditional recipe, and a way to make it less sweet. So if you guys want to try at home, you can. But let's get started. What you probably came here for, some eating sounds. Let's start with the traditional brigadeiro. I don't know why it has this name, but it's just called brigadeiro and it has no translation. The recipe consists of condensed milk, instant chocolate milk, and powder, the one that you put on the milk to have some hot cocoa, for example, and butter. It's a very simple recipe, and some chocolate sprinkles. Usually mothers and grandmothers or fathers go to their hand with a little bit of butter and grab the recipe to make these little balls. But depending on the time sweet. It adds a little bit of bitterness to the very sweet condensed milk. But either way, the two recipes are delicious in my opinion. Let's try one out. I must say, there is very hot in here, so they may be a little softer than they usually are, because you have to keep them refrigerated. Okay, let's give, a little softer. Like I said, they usually don't leave anything in the paper. It's because it's very, very hot in here because of the lights. But okay, let's give our first bite. Very chewy and so delicious. This is the traditional one, the one that everyone knows how to make. So good, I definitely recommend it. Who loves chocolate? Who doesn't love chocolate, actually? Okay, let me clean my hands, actually. Let's get another one. So good. Okay, I'm gonna get you the other flavors, and then maybe I'll eat the last one of each. Let me get some water to clean my palate. It's not palate, I don't know how to say it. My tongue, my flavor equipment. Next one is the coconut flavored one. Coconut. It's the exact same recipe than this one, but you use flakes of coconut flakes instead of the powdered cocoa powder. So one thing is also very sweet, but it is way less sweet than the traditional chocolate one. Even the traditional coconut flavored one is less sweet than the chocolate one, but some people sometimes will use coconut milk alongside the condensed milk because it will help the sweetness, to relieve the sweetness of the condensed milk and become still sweet but more light. The traditional name for this one is beijinho, which the literal translation is little kiss. So this is a little kiss. I'm not sure why it's named like that, but it is. Let's give it a try. definitely less sweet than the chocolate and has a little bit more texture because of the coconut flakes. Amazing, I love it. By the way, I made this myself. That's why they are very different sizes. A more experienced brigadeiro maker would have the little balls to be like the exact same size as very, very pretty, which is also one of the reasons of why people serve it at birthday parties. Is a easy way to offer small bite sweets that look good and taste good. This video is being a pleasure for me, honestly. So good. Okay, hey you guys, I apologize if there was a sounding cut on the video. It's because my dog is now among us, and you may have heard him just now. And unfortunately, he's an imposter and is trying to sabotage our videos so he can have the sweets for himself. But anyways, clarifying the probable cliffhanger that I left you guys about this one's name, the strawberry flavor one name, is Bootswarm, according to urban legend. The reason why it has its name, kind of morbid name, is because it's pink color inside. When I eat it, I'm gonna show you guys. Even inside it's pink, not just in sprinkles. So, its color reminded people of this parasite that could get inside a fisherman's feet if they had an injury or something like that, a cut. And once they were removed from the feet, they were pink because of the blood and the white, the blood of the person and the white of the worm. I'm sorry if that's not very appetizing story, but I guess it's just some urban legend to maybe put off kids of the sweets. But that's its name, bicho-de-pé. Bootswarm, its popular name. Some people just call a strawberry, strawberry, brigadeiro, strawberry, brigadeiro, morango, brigadeiro de morango. Okay, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I think it probably will be cut, but the recipe is just the same that the others. The difference is that instead of cocoa powder or coconut flakes, we use Nesquik, the strawberry milk powder, instant powder. If you want to make it less sweet, some people use berry powder, like this powder that strawberries dry out and transform into powder. It won't get this color though, it won't be pink, it will look a little bit like the coconut flavor one, the beijinho, but with, some pink and red streaks to it, or a little more pale, it really depends. Okay, let's give it a bite. This one is the softest one because it was the first one that I took out of the fridge. It's also the sweetest one, I think. So if you're not a fan of very sweet, you're probably not gonna like this one. But I still love it. It reminds me of childhood. Okay, let me clean my hands and drink a little water. Okay, now to our final one, which the recipe that I made has no real name other than milk brigadeiro, which is just instead of Nesquik or coconut flakes or cocoa powder, you just use milk powder, powder milk, and it gives the recipe, this fudge truffly recipe, white chocolate almost taste. One thing about this recipe that I'd like to mention is that you guys can use actual chocolate instead of the powder versions. The gourmet versions are often like real chocolate, real strawberry, real, you know what I mean, like not the powder versions. This one whatsoever has nothing to replace the other ingredients, like the ingredient that gives it flavor is the milk powder. It's very similar if you use white chocolate instead of milk powder, but it's not exactly the same. Okay. Oh yeah. If there is a version of this that people call olho de sogra, which is mother's-in-law eye, which people get the fudge and they wrap it around, they cover a grape inside, or I forgot the name of the other fruit, but I'll leave it written in the video of the other, thing that people use to put in the middle of the fudge. And when you bite into it, the white of the fudge and the round shaped thing inside look like an eye. I don't know why mothers-in-law eye specifically, but it is what it is. Mother-in-laws do have, that stereotype of always keeping the bad stereotype that I don't think is real at all, of always keeping an eye on their son-in-laws and their daughters-in-laws. So maybe that's the reason, but it's a little bit nonsensical. Okay, let's give it a bite. As you guys can see, this one is a little bit firmer than the others. It's less creamy and more how to explain it. Let me give it another bite, maybe it'll come to me. Yeah, it's a bit less creamy and more truffly, more to the truffle side. But the others can go there too, like I mentioned, if you give it more time on the stove. you guys couldn't hear it, but this one had a little chewy part to it, a harder part, which can happen in all of these recipes. If you leave it too much on the stove, it starts to caramelize little like balls, little parts of the fudge of the recipe. Some people don't like it, they like the softness and the same consistency, but I really love when there is like these pieces of chewiness inside. They look like little candies, almost. I don't know if I was making myself clear, but I was, how can you make yourself too clear when you're eating this much sugar and enjoy it so much? So, if you guys like it less sweet, the coconut one, the beijinho, the little kids will be your guys' favorite. This one is the traditional one, brigadeiro, the chocolate one that everyone loves. Everyone loves this one, and I sure you guys will too. This one is the sweetest one and very, very popular with the kids. Kids love this. And this one is like a middle ground between these two. My fingers weren't pointed to the right. It's a middle ground of these two. It's not very sweet, but it's a little bit more sweet than the coconut one. So yeah, but I really like this one. I love it. If you love white chocolate, you'll love this one. Or if you love, tres leches, to my Latin friends in the audience, you'll love this one. If you love anything that's like milky flavored, you love this one. But okay, you guys, I think that's it. I don't know if I can take too much sugar anymore. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope that you got some relaxation out of it, or maybe a new recipe idea. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like and subscribe, and leave a comment below. If you guys do this recipe, let me know, or if you just want to leave a tip, a tip in the sense of some advice of what you guys want, and whatever. Just if you want, just comment whatever you want. And I know mouth sounds and eating sounds are not everyone's favorite, but I really wanted, to give the guys that like that relaxation type something to enjoy my channel. So yeah, if you guys want more eating sounds though, do let me know. I'm not complaining. I love this. I haven't had this much sugar in a long while, so I'm really happy. Thank you so much once again, and have a great night.